Cheers. Okay. Today, I want to ask a question. Who's interested to join me on an expedition? Let's put the camera this way so you can see what I'm seeing it. Now the thing is this. I'm 39 years old this year. Okay? And see, year 2020 is almost gone. Right? After the MCO, after everyone comes out, half a year is gone. And in the blink of an eye, it will be year 2021. Right? Is it so? Yeah. By 2021, I'll be 40 years old. Now, any one of you who's about my age, try and think back the day we graduated or when we're still in college. Don't you find that the memories, the things that we do, the words that we say, the food that we eat, the warongs that we go to, memories of that are still rather fresh, right? If it's still rather fresh, then let me remind you that was 20 years ago. That was already 20 years ago. Okay? So we're 40 now. I'm 40. I mean, I'll be 40 soon. Okay? In the blink of an eye, it will be 45. And 45 is the qualification year for us to join Astro's Old Man Singing Competition. Can you imagine that? 45? And very quickly we will be 50. And that's the beginning of our sunset. Okay? I mean, of course everybody say, oh no, you're still young. You have more years to go, but we know that, right? We're in school, then college, right? That's when we feel, wow, freedom, 19, 20 years old, your dick is like, right? Everywhere you see hot girls. And then very quickly you come out of that, you start working, you change one job, two job, maybe you bought a second car, and then you met a girl, and then you get married, and then you have kids, and then boom, you're 40 years old. Then you'd be like, I thought I'm still building my career, or your financial stability, some still looking at buying houses and all that. And you're already 40. Okay? And very quickly, that whatever plan you bought when you first started working is matured. The insurance plan. And then the guy said, oh, we'll pay you 26,000. By the time you are near 40, you're at 26. A MacBook Pro was 3,008 back then. A MacBook Pro now is 12,000. 3,000 can't even get you an iPhone. Right? You're like, okay, it's matured. I get the promised 27,000 ringgit. And then it's nothing. It's half of it goes to a MacBook Pro. And then very quickly, 45, and then you start to get weak. 40 years old, after 35 actually, after 30 you feel you are slower, because some people exercise, right? but you'll never be as agile as when you were in your 20s, right? After 1 p.m., 1 a.m., you'll be like, oh, crap. And by the time you reach 40, you're almost there. 45, and then 50, that's where your sunset starts, right? Your face will start sagging. If your balls are bigger, you'll sag too. And then you see your kids. Oh crap, they are what, 13 years old, 14 years old, hiding in their room, wanking, and right, mysterious tissue bundles in their bin. And then when you're 50, they start bringing girlfriends home. They're in their college years. Crap, you're still paying for their stuff. I mean, if you're lucky, they start working and all that, and very, very quickly, you'll be in your 60s, right? If you think you're 40 now and 60 is another 20 years away, do remember that your fresh memory of when you graduated was 20 years ago. Alright? And then, out of nowhere, you're 60. Your friends start dying if you're lucky. Right? If you're not the one that suddenly just didn't wake up the next day. And if you're lucky, 60 plus, that's when you see your kids getting married. You're like, what the hell? Getting married? Right? And by your 70, if you're lucky, you'll be looking at your grandchild. And that's about it. Life is that short. Right? So for those of you who always say, oh, buy this, buy that, 30 years, 35 years, loan, blah, blah, retirement plan when you're old, blah, blah, blah. By the time you don't feel any of these are important at all, because you hardly use any money, right? You have no interest in the latest phone, you have no interest in the latest whatever shit, right? Your clothes will always fit you. You have no interest in all these things. You have become very, very low maintenance. Alright? And that's it. One day you'll be sitting there looking outside and you'll be like, what the hell have I done? College, work, married, kids. And then the rest feels almost the same. And you're about to leave this beautiful world. And then you wonder, what have I done? Have I done anything? Yeah, I work, I save up. And what's that all about? Right. Let's say you became very, very rich, extremely rich, right? You look down your window, your old Rolls Royces and all that. Then you see your kid, your first son and your second son, both works in your company. They're not happy with each other. They both still sit with you for breakfast. It's only because you're rich, right? They just want your money. I mean, if that's the sad case, right? So, yeah, life is short. If you fire up Google Maps, you will feel life is even shorter, right? See, like, this is Malaysia, right? Indonesia. And what the hell is this? Andaman Nicobar Islands, right? Paracel Islands. Wow, Indonesia is huge. And so a lot of part of Indonesia is nearer to Australia than they are nearer to Malaysia, right? And why is this border so strict? You know, things like that. You'd be like, crap. So, any one of you who's interested, to join me, not immediately, but it's my plan to just take 6 months out of your life. You see, 2020, 6 months is gone. Yes, we're now technically just entered April, but if you still remember December celebrations and all that, right? That was 5 months ago. And 6 months will just zoom past you like that. Right? How significant is 6 months out of your whole life? If it flies that fast. Alright, so my plan is within 5 years, what I want to do is to drive from KL. Singaporeans, you're welcome, or anyone else, alright? Drive, of course, we'll pass the border to Thailand. Maybe we put up a night at Hat Yai, and then we continue our journey. We can go to Phuket and put up a night as well, or two, and then we continue on our journey. Ranong, whatever, Kraburi or whatever. This road looks interesting. Very, very twisted road. And then we put up a night here, somewhere here. And then we continue on. Or we can put up a night here at these beaches here. Beaches. Oh, these are deltas. Oh crap, that is not Thailand anymore. That is Myanmar. Okay, that is Myanmar. Okay, you never knew Myanmar is that near to Perlis, huh? So we can go to Bangkok. After Phuket, we can drive to Bangkok, put up a night, and then from Bangkok we can drive to Chiang Mai. That looks very far, but we can enjoy our time there. And then we spend maybe 2 days, 3 days at Mae Hong Son. Mae Hong Son. Right, Pai. I went to Pai last year. Such a beautiful place, and these roads are wonderful. Right, the entire Mae Hong Son loop is just beautiful. Anyway, we're chill, right? We're in no rush. We have 6 months. Take our time. All right. So we can choose a border crossing. Right. We can cross into Myanmar and then Bangladesh, or we can go up to China and go into Yunnan, Tibet. I'm not sure if we can drive into Bhutan. And look at this desert. Look at this desert. The mountainous areas of Tibet, Qinghai, Xinjiang, Gobi Desert. Right? So there are two routes to choose. Either we can go through China, or we can go to Myanmar and then Bangladesh. If I went through Bangladesh, I'll look for my friend, Auto Rebellion, and then we can cross into India. I heard India is beautiful, but China is beautiful as well. Now if we go through China first, then we'll come back through India. Alright? If we go through China, we can even, China will be easy because they have all the infrastructures, right? The highways and all that. Then maybe we cross into Kazakhstan or Tajikistan, or do we go Russia? I'm not sure. Turkmenistan. Of course, uh, it's best to avoid Afghanistan, right? Given the situation. But Pakistan is lovely as well. There's Karachi, Hyderabad, right? But after Pakistan is Iran. I heard Iran is beautiful as well. Iran is a wonderful country. But I guess the more developed part is along the sea. Then we skip Afghanistan and we try and go through Uzbekistan or Turkmenistan. And then again, there are two ways. You can go Russia, but you pass by Ukraine. How is Ukraine now? And Ukraine is over here. So this is Georgia and this is Russia. Right. So either we go this side through Iran, that's the Caspian Sea, or Russia. And then after Iran, it should be safe sailing, because Iran is here, Iraq is here. Of course, Iraq and Syria used to be a beautiful country. Iraq as well, they're all beautiful. I mean, before United States fucked them up, right? And then there's Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey. Right, once you enter Turkey, it should be rather alright. And then if you don't enter Turkey, you can go through this side. But this is the scarier part of Ukraine. Okay, after Ukraine, it is Moldova, and then Romania. Or Turkey cross into Bulgaria, and we can go to Greece. And then this is beautiful, alright? Greece, Albania, Macedonia, Kosovo, Bosnia, Serbia, Croatia, Hungary, or we can go into Slovenia, the birthplace of Akrapovic, and get ourselves some exhaust, if the cars still work. And then we're in Austria, right? And then we can go to Venice. That's Italy, beautiful Italy. And up here is Germany, and then Switzerland, France, Netherlands, Belgium, and UK. That's the tunnel crossing is here. Calais should be here. Calais is here. That's the tunnel crossing. And then we're in London. And then on the way back, of course, we will cross the tunnel again. We can head down to Spain. We can head to Portugal. Unfortunately, I don't think we can cross the Straits of Gibraltar to Africa. No lah. We can come back through Malaga, Valencia, Barcelona. This part is beautiful. The Mediterranean Sea of Europe is absolutely beautiful. So we can go with that route, and then we come back through here. That's where you will find Cannes. That's where you will find Monaco. And it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Alright, that's Italy. And then we touch other countries that we haven't touched before, right? Norway, Sweden, Finland. Okay. So basically, if we drove up from Malaysia through China and Russia, and then we can visit Finland, Sweden, Norway, and then come down to Western Europe, and then go to UK, or then we will come back with Spain, Portugal, south of France, Italy, and Germany, and all that. Visit the museums in Germany, Mercedes Museum, Porsche Museum, Audi, BMW. Of course, when we were in Italy, we'll try and visit Modena, Ferrari. I mean, since I drove an Aston Martin, of course, when I was in London, I'll try and visit Gaydon. And if Koenigsegg welcomes us, of course, we'll try and visit Koenigsegg. And then, yeah, all the historical car makers, try and visit all of them. And then we'll come back. If we go with this route, we'll come back with this route, right? Either way. And I estimate 6 months. 6 months. How much money, I'm not sure, but I can't afford it now, I reckon. But that's my goal in the next 5 years. I want to do this journey. Yeah. And then back to Malaysia. And we'll have a lifetime of memories. Proud to tell people. Right? I mean, I'm lucky for my job. I'm lucky that I've traveled to Jakarta for, I don't know what tire launch or whatever. I've traveled to Australia, not on job. I mean, I send my other staffs there, but I myself have driven around here. Not a long journey. It's just Melbourne, and then where's that? Oh yeah, I drove to Phillip Island, look at the penguins, and then I stay in Dandenong Mountains. It's a small area. I drove here before. Beautiful place, Australia. Then I went to a track in Indonesia. I mean, I didn't do much there. I drove a lot in Thailand with Evo Enduro. I flew to Philippines. That was my previous job. And then I flew to Taiwan to drive the new Panamera. I flew to Hong Kong, and then took a ferry to Macau to watch the Lamborghini race at the Macau racetrack, right? And then experience the launch. That was Porsche's first attempt at making a hybrid sports car. That was about 11 years ago or 10 years ago. I haven't been to China. I flew to Japan, Hiroshima, and visit Mazda's factory. And Mazda took us to their R&D center. Okay, I'm one of those journalists who flew the least because when I was in Carlis, I mostly sent my staffs, and then when I was running Evo, I was mostly sending my team members as well. So it's not me. And then in terms of really special ones, Audi flew me once to Finland. And the top part of Finland, they call it the Laplands, alright? They call the same for Sweden, Norway as well. They call these the Laplands, so it's very near the Arctic Circle, alright? So this was where you'll be able to see auroras and all that. So I've been there, and we learned how to drift in the snow. Yeah. Then I've been to Sweden to visit Volvo's factory, and Gothenburg. We were here. I've never been to Denmark. I would love to. I've been to Germany, right? Flew to Munich, or was it Frankfurt? I forgot which airport. You know, I've done 2 driving trips in Europe before. So the first one, I landed in London, then I rented a car. Then I rented a Volvo XC90. That was back in 2012. That was a diesel, a D5. Then we drove from London to cross the Eurotunnel. Then I landed at Calais, and from here we wanted to drive down to Switzerland, but it was our first experience, and we stopped a lot on the highways. It was beautiful, and France was super expensive compared to London. Okay, and that was in autumn, I think. And by 4 p.m. we were only passing Reims, all right, this small town here, and and the sky was so dark that you just don't feel like you want to be on the road anymore. Especially, I have my grandpa with me, my mom, my sister, my brother, my wife. So we put up a night in Reims. It was interesting because the entire town, nobody speaks English. That was back in 2012, and and we don't have data back then. So it was pretty interesting. We couldn't get online. We couldn't basically translate or whatever. So the restaurant lady was like, she was doing that. We were laughing. It was an amazing night. She was making all kinds of sound, sounds that ducks make, sounds that chicken makes, and then she was doing this fish thing. It was interesting. Then we put up a night. Then we continued our journey. We drove down, and we entered Switzerland. Sorry. Yeah. So we drove from Reims. We continued our journey, and then we entered into Bern. Alright, Bern was the capital of is the capital of Switzerland. Then continue on, and then put up a night at not a night, a few nights. Where is? Wait, let me see. Where is Interlaken? We went to Interlaken. Here, this town. Beautiful place, Interlaken. We stayed at a hotel near the lake. Yeah, the Interlaken Unterseen, Interlaken Golf Club. Unterseen. Yeah, we stayed here so that we're near to the mountains. Then we went to the mountains, and we went up Mount Jungfraujoch. And then the next day I brought them to Lucerne. I brought them to a few other places. And then from Switzerland we drove back to London. Alright? That was the 2012 journey. Then in 2016 I actually flew to Ingolstadt. Yeah, Ingolstadt, the hometown of Audi. And after Ingolstadt, we drove out to Munich, down here, and then from Munich, we took on a highway. I think we passed by Zurich or Lucerne, and then Lake Como. Then we passed Milan. And from Milan, we literally cross Italy like this. Italy's highways are super straight, very boring to drive. And then we arrived at Venice, and then I put up a few nights in Venice. And then from Venice, we're basically circling the Alps, right? Oh no, I got it wrong, sorry. I went to Switzerland first, this trip. So from Ingolstadt, I went to Munich, and then Munich we crossed into Zurich, and then Lucerne, and then we went back to the same hotel at Interlaken, and then I literally brought my father-in-law and mother-in-law through the same journey, because those are places that you must visit when you're in Switzerland, I guess so. Mount Jungfraujoch and all that, I went again. And then from Switzerland, we went through Turin, and then to Milan, and then from Milan crossed to Venice, and then from Venice, so we stayed a few nights in Switzerland, and then we stayed a few nights in Venice, and then from Venice we drove into Austria, Salzburg. Alright, we didn't put up a night in Salzburg. We went back to Munich, and then from Munich, the day we should depart, we passed by, was it Stuttgart? No, we skipped Stuttgart because we couldn't make it on time. So we went back to Frankfurt, put up a night, and then flew back. So yeah, short distances, but still, it's around here or one round there. These are 2000 plus km, 2000 plus km. So these are the journeys I've done in Europe. So I wish to do more. And will you be interested? Okay, those of you who are, contact us on Facebook or whatever. I want to plan this. Okay, yeah, life is too short. Okay, and that's the reason I bought the Aston Martin, because I wanted to do this journey. I'm not sure if it's possible, if it is remotely possible, I'm not sure. I want to do it in a V12. Something worth listening to, something worth stopping your car by the roadside and walk down there and take a picture of the car. So don't worry, it won't be just a few of us. My usual way of doing this, I'm gonna try and assemble a team of mechanics, cameraman, photographers. I'm gonna talk to the companies or arrange the border crossing and all that. That's what we do. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. I want to drive a V12, boop, and back to celebrate the death of V12. Yep. These are journeys that electric cars can't do. Alright, so yeah, whoever's interested, I want to do that. Yeah. Because if you look at the whole Eurasia, right? Europe, Asia, this area is the most prosperous of Eurasia. I mean, China, North Korea, South Korea, China, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and Southeast Asia, and to the other end, which is the most prosperous, right? So from here to here, it'll be very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? Would you be keen to join and make it an epic journey? Right? Just imagine a bunch of V8, V10, V12s all making a shit ton of noise, driving cars that aren't supposed to go that far, and we proved that they did. What's the point of buying a supercar and keeping it so clean without scratches? You're afraid that your mileage will build up and then you lose your value, or your tires are expensive, or your rims got scratched and all that nonsense. We're supposed to drive them. They're supposed to have stone chips. They're supposed to have scratches. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's my 5-year plan. I have some friends who've done this journey. And when I first thought of this journey, I was thinking, okay, I must get a Toyota something. It has to be a Toyota, right? A Toyota FJ Cruiser or a Prado or a Land Cruiser or whatever. Then one day I just thought, which 4x4 Toyota couldn't make this journey, right? As long as you don't die somewhere here, should be doable, right? For a 4x4, but how about all these, you know, supercars or something? Yeah, sounds worth celebrating too, right? Imagine our whole entourage. You have, I don't know, I mean, crazy S2000s, cabriolets, M5s, X6Ms, Ferraris, whatever, classic cars. Yeah, all the epic stuffs. Toyota Serras. I don't know, man. It will be epic. Alright, guys. Shoots.